Welcome back to that Heartbreak Hogs podcast. How are we doing today, Sid?
We are recovering. We are over last weekend and we're ready to move on.
Remember, there was somebody that said that we would have an early lead in this game, and in the fourth quarter we would lose it.
Yeah, somebody also said they believed in Taylor Green.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that too. Um, that's a good point. So, oh my gosh, oh, it was just sad to watch, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Oh my god. Um, let's kind of look at some stats here and get an idea of what happened in Arlington. So, let's see. So, first downs, and I'm just going to start this off by saying Arkansas led in literally everything on these stats except for the points.
Yeah.
And there's one key thing that we let in that really ensured our demise in this game, and I'm going to get to that. First downs, Arkansas 21, A&M 17. Nice. Third down efficiency, Arkansas 5 for 15, A&M 4 for 13. So about similar. I guess you could say that A&M may have had the edge just slightly, but not noticeable. They were pretty much dead even on that. Fourth down efficiency, Arkansas 2 of 3. A&M didn't even attempt a fourth down. Total yards, 379 to Arkansas for Arkansas. A&M 297. So passing, Arkansas 279, A&M 163. Pass completion percentage, Talon went for 23 of 41, A&M 11 of 22. Pass yards per pass, Arkansas 6.8, A&M 7.4. So A&M did lead there whenever they did decide to pass. Interceptions, Arkansas had 1, A&M none. Rushing, A&M did beat Arkansas 134 to 100. Rushing attempts, Arkansas had less, 30 to 38. Yards per rush was about the same, 3.3 for Arkansas, 3.5 for A&M. Penalties, Arkansas 10 for 75 yards, A&M 7 for 63. This is the key stat here. Turnovers, Arkansas 3, A&M 0. So when you're winning the total yards battle, you're winning the passing battle, and you've made some key fourth down conversions. If you have 3 turnovers and the other team has 0, that significantly shifts the stats. I said on the last week prediction, Arkansas did not win a one-score game with Auburn, and because they did not win a one-score game, I could not pick them to win this game because I felt it was going to be a one-score finish. We are now 6 for 16 in one-score games, Sam Pittman. 6 for 16 in games that are defined by 8 points or less. So, Sid, with all that being said, because I've got more notes on here, but I just read all the stats and everything, I want to get your take on the game. You were in Las Vegas betting and watching, and what was your take on everything that unfolded? What was a part when you got nervous about the game? Were you ever kind of feeling like, oh, we're gonna win this thing, and then there was a moment where you're like, I've seen this story before? Just give your overall thoughts on everything.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot. And again, it was in Vegas and
Mm-hmm.
there was a few drinks had and there was with our buddies, and we were at a pool party and watching the game. I had my jersey on, and let me let you know, um, at no point in this game, even though we had a lead, at
Yeah.
no point in this game I felt comfortable.
Okay.
I just knew the history with this game, and I knew A&M would find ways to just beat us, and that's exactly what happened. Just kicking and screaming. I mean, there's nothing we could do. This
Mm-hmm.
it's just what exactly what happened with us. It's say tale as old as time. Arkansas finds a way to fumble, turn the ball over, and kind of kick themselves in the foot while or shoot themselves in the foot while um, and just finding ways to lose. I've seen it over and over and over, and especially Pittman's career. We've seen it over and over from him where he hasn't really proven that he can win these close games. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had no hope. And was I still heartbroken? Very much so. I mean, as a Razorback fan, who isn't? Who wasn't?
Mm-hmm.
And we really wanted this game, but just those ungodly turnovers and Talon Green, we called it out. You called it out actually last week. And I made a mistake. I said Talon Green should pass more. I want to see how he passes and how he does. And I know he had some good passes in the game, but I wasn't a fan. I mean, I know he made some ungodly mistakes. He would still only look to the first receiver. He would still just look to see if that receiver isn't open. Then he would make a
Yeah.
mistake in throwing in double coverage, and kind of panicking when he moves out of the ball. And they ran as you wanted. You wanted them to have more designed runs. That didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also because they knew our game plan, and I think I was right in that fact that they knew we would try to do that every time, and immediately we try to switch up the game plan, and in our favor that didn't work. I mean, just just his throwing motion. I'm thinking about with his front facing sideways throwing motion. It worked a few
Mm-hmm.
couple times, but it was like a 50-50 shot almost. And when he threw the ball deep,
Yeah,
I could have closed
he
my
went
eyes.
23 for 41, so that's about 50-50. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I
it's
could
close
close
to
my
it.
eyes, and I anything could happen. When I saw his
Mm-hmm.
throwing motions, I was um yeah, honestly, I knew he wasn't our guy. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later, but
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, our rushing game wasn't there this week. We had Le'Veon Moss run on us while we were trying to figure out how to beat them in a passing game, and we beat them in everything. I think it's time of possession. We had more. Everything I called for us to have last week, we beat them in everything. It's just a letdown loss. Except I'm gonna blame Pittman, and I know we're gonna do another video on that, um, and I'll go off on Pittman on there, but just stupid calls and stupid mistakes that you make that he
Mm-hmm.
made. It's just hurt us bad. And I mean, we shouldn't have lost this game. We had a chance to win this game, and
Yeah.
that would have felt made me feel so much about the upcoming games. But this just let down to say it's the same old story, and
Mm-hmm.
um
Yeah, we led in most of the key stats here as we went
yeah,
over.
it's just the same old story. And
In
it's hard to be a
yeah.
Razorback fan in a sea of fans all over the country in Vegas. It's just hard to be a Razorback fan when they
Mm-hmm.
everyone in the country knows what's going to happen,
Yeah.
and it happens. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I will leave it at that, and I'm going to let you speak on it a little bit more.
So if anybody does want to, what Sid was talking about with missing Talon missing his reads early on in his progressions. Definitely check out DJ Williams and Power Hour SEC. They do great breakdowns of film, of Razorback content. But with that being said, yes, one of the things that we talked about last time, and you brought it up a little bit, was I suggested that Talon throw about 20 times a game, between 20 and 25, I think is what I said.
Hmm.
And I'm still on that. I don't know why Talon is throwing 40 passes. I don't know why they're trying to make him Peyton Manning. He's not Peyton Manning. He's not Tom Brady. He's none of those guys. Why is he passing the ball so much? And there needs to be more run designs that are creative, and these guys got to be able to block. I'm going to get to the offensive line here. I don't know how any quarterback, I don't think Talon is a Heisman Trophy winner by any means, but I think that whenever he has to run for his life, how can you be confident when every single play you're being chased down, that they line the box up with 8 or 9 guys and your guys can't block? I mean, who is going to be able to be confident in a situation like that? I say that maybe you can throw in Singleton and see what happens, but he's just going to get rocked. He doesn't have the speed that Talon has. How can anybody perform and do anything with that kind of coverage by the offensive line? A&M really made some in-game adjustments. We came out with some good pre-game adjustments, like Sid and I have talked about before, but then A&M started making adjustments that we just could not match, and that is what's so disappointing about this. And so I was with family watching this game. I have a family that went to A&M, and they were over. We were all watching it, and I'd gone outside for a little bit to hang out with some people, say hello, greetings, and all that. And somebody came out, my dad came out and was like, yep, A&M just scored, or Arkansas fumbled on their own 10-yard line, and A&M just scored. As soon as I heard that, I knew the game was over. I was like, boom, that's the big play. In this game, there's always one big play that screws Arkansas. And as soon as it was still in the first half, but I chalked that as an L, that it was over. As soon as I heard that we fumbled at the 10-yard line and that A&M capitalized on it, I was like, they're going to outscore us now. They're going to get one extra score than us, and they're going to win this football game. And it sucks. The defense played great, but nobody's acknowledging that the defense, when it counted, when we took the lead, the very next drive, A&M got a touchdown. I'm not saying this game is on the defense. The defense played great, but we've talked about on here, when the defense needs to win games, they haven't been able to either. I've seen Talon Green and the offense beat UAB. I know it's UAB. I've seen Talon Green go and beat Auburn. And because Talon Green, at the end of that Auburn game, they had 3 straight drives or 2 straight drives. It was one of those that resulted in a score. The defense has to close the game out. If we get up, if we're up by 3, 7, whatever it is, stop the other team from scoring. Again, not the defense's fault the whole game, but sure, call them out for it. Stop saying that we have this great defensive coordinator when he can't close out a game. I'm just going to put that out there. Again, I think overall, but all that matters is stopping them at the end and scoring at the end. Those are the things that matter in these games. I know I'm going out on a tangent. There's just some things that I have notes on here that I want to put out there, but I've got 2 more things. The other thing is, or one of the last 2, is the kicking situation. Do we not trust our kicker? What is it with us? Now, the fake punt was awesome. That was cool. Why are we faking a field goal when it could have been like it would have been like a 40-yard kick? Something like that. You can chime in on here. Yeah. Chime in on this one, Sid. I see you really want to say something. Chime in.
No, I mean, that was the most like Arkansas thing and Pittman thing you could have done. faking the punt, amazing. Like,
Mm-hmm. Great
um,
execution.
great
Great
execution,
call.
and you could tell that they had planned for this
Yep.
and well before the game, and
Yep.
the fact that it executed perfectly when the defenders were
Mm-hmm.
running
That
back
punter
with their
knew what
backs
to look
against the wall.
for, and as soon as he saw it, he
I
went
mean,
for it, and it was
he had
awesome.
he had an open field, like, that
Mm-hmm.
was but then that kick, going for a fake on the same game where you had a punt and people were looking out.
Yep.
I mean, A&M knew you were trying to trick them, but
Yep. And it was right after a timeout. We called a timeout to run a fake. And it was just like,
and
oh,
what were we trying to do this fake for? Like, at least,
yeah.
like, it's insane. If you to call a timeout, exactly, to call a
Yeah.
timeout and then a fake is absolutely absurd, and not if you had planned for this fake and then called a timeout, if you read the defense, hey, this isn't
Yeah.
going to work, that would make me feel so much better. But the fact that they read the defense, they were like, okay, I think we can
Mm-hmm.
do this. Clearly, A&M knew we were going to fake it, and then to try to pass for it, oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yeah.
uh, this was just absolutely absurd, and I just could not believe my eyes on
Yeah.
how and why this was executed. This made me also
Mm-hmm.
remind me of just like a little bit of the last years where we would just run the ball the same way over and over, where the
Yeah.
defenses could a fifth grader could predict plays
Yes. Yes. From the shotgun. From the
exactly from
shotgun.
the
Yeah.
shotgun. Like, if
Exactly.
anyone could predict the play,
Yep.
the fact that you went for another trick play in the same game on a
Mm-hmm.
field goal kick where we could have easily had 3 points.
Yeah. You only do a trick play once. If it
It's
works
this is not
once, you just leave it.
This isn't even like going for it. Like, we weren't even. This is
Mm-hmm.
just trying to trick them for no reason.
Yep.
This isn't even like, hey, let's have Taylor Green. Like, we believe in our offense that well.
Yep.
Let's have them try to convert the first
Yep.
down.
Yep. Keep them out
Nope,
there.
nope.
Yeah.
Let's try to. I'm sorry, I almost cursed, but there. Let's just try to, like,
Yeah.
fake it. Is just the, the most Arkansas thing they can do.
I
And
know.
Pittman, you're not helping yourself right now. You're
Mm-mm.
just not helping your case at all. And
Yeah.
come on, man.
Yeah. No, it's infuriating to watch. And it makes you wonder, why are they not kicking field goals? Because they've been going for it in this area and not getting it. And it's like, why are we going for it here? Kick the football, kick it. And I know he's missed a couple, but just keep kicking it. Keep kicking it. It's better than getting stomped there. And this is an area of the field that we have not been succeeding at. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like, what's up with the special teams? We need to believe in our kicker. Just keep kicking it.
And his
And
other field goal is
yeah.
45 yards. Like,
Yeah, yeah, he made one. Yeah.
if you like, this was a shorter field
Exactly.
goal, and if you still don't believe in him, that's
Good
just
call. You're
absurd.
exactly right. You're
Like,
exactly right.
how I just can't, like, I'm
Yep.
baffled that that play was called, and I haven't seen him explain it yet, but I just want to see his explanation and what he was thinking. I can't, like, have to see this explanation, and we'll talk about it before we talk about Pittman and whether he should stay on as a coach or not. But
Yeah. Yeah. That's the next
what an
segment. Easy now, Sid.
absolute
We're
absurd.
getting there.
Yeah, let's just get off Pittman and that play, and we'll talk about it in that next video. Um,
Hmm.
yeah,
But
let's talk
I do
about,
have I have another interesting topic here.
yeah.
So the only reason I'm going to bring this up, this is not a rumor channel or anything, but DJ Williams brought this up. And since DJ Williams, to me, he has credibility enough to, whenever he says something, that you can repeat it and talk about it. Now, don't take this information as gold or anything. Maybe take it for a grain of salt. But the Blackstock rumors, the offensive lineman, um, let's see, what was his first? Keyshawn Blackstone or Blackstock, sorry. Keyshawn Blackstock. there were rumors early on that he missed practice because of an NIL dispute. And then recently, this was around fall camp time. And then recently on Monday, Sunday or Monday, DJ Williams had said that there were legitimate rumors that Blackstock had made comments last year that he did not pick Arkansas because Arkansas could not afford him. If you watched DJ Williams' recent videos, he basically broke down that Blackstock missed so many blocks in this game and has been missing a lot of blocks in this game. What is up with our NIL? And what made us think that if we are paying Blackstock a lot in NIL, I'm not trying to attack the guy. I'm just talking about performance in a team, since these guys do get paid, that, why are we grabbing or why are we sending a lot of NIL money to people that I don't think he even had the starting job at his last location? Again, you know, I'm not trying to attack the guy. I'm just questioning as a fan that's watching this product and being annoyed, disappointed, and all of that. And my second part to this question is, with NIL deals, does that prevent coaching staff from benching these players? Taylon Green, for example. I'm not advocating for him to be benched because I've already talked about I think he is QB1. Even with the performance, I think you just have to reduce his passes for him to be QB1. However, do you guys, or Sid, for you, do you think that because of these NIL contracts, that these coaches are having a hard time benching players that are not performing, and it could potentially cause locker room problems along with other problems? What do you kind of think about that? Moving forward, can you bench Taylon Green because he's got NIL contracts? Is that a reason that we won't be benching him and trying out Singleton? Are we going to be able to bench Blackstock and some of these other guys that are not performing? What do you think?
For Blackstock, I did see that, and the fact that I saw those plays as well, where it was he couldn't guard a ghost.
Yeah,
I mean, he couldn't guard. He was pretty much a ghost on the field,
yeah.
like just
I understand
missing
what you're trying to
open,
say.
yeah,
Yeah,
missing players that he should be blocking,
yeah.
um, so clearly. Like it was wild, and for him to be that high of a ranked player is absolutely absurd. And the fact that he isn't benched,
Hmm.
um, is absurd. Again, it comes down to our coaching. Like you said, it comes down to our coaching mistakes, and
Hmm.
our coaches just cannot like fix things that they're seeing. We're all seeing it, whether it's in game, whether it's after game, whether it's for planning for
And do we
games.
even have the depth to bench him? That's the other issue here is, and if we don't, why don't we? With this offensive line guru, why do we only have one tier of offensive linemen? You know?
Yeah, yeah. I think we are going. I mean, I think if I saw that correctly, like we do have depth, but is the depth good? No. So not really. I mean,
Hmm.
and if our top guys can perform, and we're just looking for guys that are honestly, if the guys that are behind him cannot outperform him,
Yeah.
I would be very shocked. And then at that point, it would be of overall issue of the offensive line. But I think if just if we're not able to give those guys a shot,
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't get worse. Like you
And what do
said,
you do though if these guys got these big NIL deals? You know,
that's not that's NIL deals are not on this program though. That's on the players themselves.
right?
Their player NIL deals could still get revoked, or yeah, if they don't perform, which
Hmm. So
it's
you
not
don't
on the
think the
coaching.
NIL deals have anything to do with people not getting benched?
I think if anything, they should be getting benched for not performing. I think if
Yeah.
anything, if you're not
Well, I know
performing up
it
to your
should,
hype,
yes, yeah, but do you think
um,
that the NIL deals have anything to do with the reason that they're not? Blackstone being one of those, or Blackstocks, sorry, being one of those, and again, maybe the depth is just that bad.
yeah,
And
I
we're not
yeah,
trying to just sit here and hate on anybody specific here. We're just trying to analyze what is going on with this team, and unfortunately, names will get called in this. And we don't have any personal vendetta against anybody. I just want to put that out there. We're not trying to do that. It's just this is stuff you have to acknowledge whenever players aren't performing or a team is not performing. We got to call it out. As fans, and we got to call it out.
it comes down to yeah. I mean, I'm definitely like calling out the offensive line. We are calling out the offensive line right now for not showing up. I'm
Yeah,
also calling out Taylor Green, along with them as well
yeah,
for missing, for not throwing the ball away too quickly, getting out of the
right.
pocket where they're not able to protect you, and kind of just not knowing when a guy's coming after you. That happened multiple times where he fumbled, he got stripped,
Yeah, but is
and
that
that's
on
not on.
him?
He has to know if like he has to be able
Yeah,
to react quicker or
yeah.
at his level, at a starting quarterback SEC in the SEC, like I get it if it happens once, but if it
Like,
continues
how
to
many
happen,
quarterbacks though in this league could you pick from another SEC school that you think would do better? I mean, obviously you can find a
a lot.
couple, but you think a lot? Because I just I don't see how anybody can survive with that offensive line.
No, I
I
agree
get
with
there
that,
are
but
some,
the
but
way
he's
he's
not
playing,
elite. He's a good quarterback, I think, but he's not elite. Like, I just don't think that.
I don't think he's even.
Yeah,
I think if it wasn't for his, I'd say like his athletic ability to um, run with his legs, I think he would
yeah,
be below mediocre, below
yeah.
very below mediocre, and
But there
like
there have been quarterbacks that are like that have been studs that don't throw the ball very often.
yes, but they also have or they still need offensive line, like you said, which
Yeah,
we don't
yeah.
have, and they still. I mean, if they're
I mean,
not
Matt
able to
Jones
throw,
could not throw the ball, and he's one of the most, explosive and most. He's a favorite by many fans that grew up and watched him. And they just created plays for him to run. They just created creative plays, so that he could use his feet instead of his arm. And I don't know why we're not doing that with Talon. I know I keep harping on that, but like,
it keeps
why
being it,
the why the hell is
yeah,
Talon not throw? Why is he throwing 40 times a game?
yeah.
Like,
But it keeps
not to cut you off, sorry.
it went down to what we talked about last week. Player the opposing team knows. I like you can
Yeah,
be creative, yes, but the opposing team will get after you, especially like very easily come after you if they know you're going to run the ball. If even if it's a designed run and a creative run, and your offensive line isn't blocking for you, they're gonna be able to. And you're just going to be running backwards, which he was doing quite a bit, and then you're panicking. You're running out of
yeah, I see
pocket,
what you're
and
saying.
you're just trying to find an open
Well,
guy.
we didn't have a lot of designed run QB runs. We had a couple, but
There are
a
a
lot of
few.
those were passes. But he can't pass because there's also guys not running their routes correctly. Tight ends are not blocking correctly. And so, like, some of these guys are coming in, and we're not doing what the play is supposed to do. So Talon, sometimes it may look like a bad throw, and it is sometimes, but then sometimes he throws a good throw and the receiver's not where they need to be.
Most design runs that we had, I think, like in this game, it just didn't work out, and
Yeah.
so I think that's why they try to switch it up, and then for him, yeah, again, it's just getting out of pocket and then trying to find the guy where
Yeah.
the guys for him also need to like if they see him, he's running for his life, they need to stay still and be able to kind of get into that open pocket
Yeah.
where he even though he's on the move, there still, and he knows exactly the target to go to. Wherever you are, just find an open area because your QB is in trouble. And
Yeah.
it's while that wasn't happening, also there were a few receivers that were also just trying to get open while he's trying to get open,
Yeah.
and it was just two guys that are running completely opposite ways. The pick, it was similar
Yeah.
to that. He was running in the opposite way, and then instead of just staying still. But again, that was a bad throw in double coverage, which should not have
Yeah.
been thrown. And comes back to him running out of pocket. Comes back to the offensive line
Yeah.
getting to him, or the defensive line getting to him, and offensive line not being able to block. It's
Yeah.
like it's kind of Rick, kind of like a
Trickling.
downfall, trickling down. That's the word.
Yeah.
Um, in one thing not happening, another thing because of
Yeah.
another thing, because of another thing, because of another thing.
But that's why I'm saying I don't know how much blame should be on him. I get it. I'm not sitting here saying that he's this elite quarterback. It's just I don't see how Singleton can do anything better. I just don't. I
I
don't know
think I
how.
think Singleton
I think
honestly
he's gonna get rocked
could
in that
do
pocket.
no. Well, the reason why I think he could do better, not better, just about the same, the mediocre level, is because I think even if he stays in the pocket, he'll be able to read the progressions better. I know he
Yeah,
won't
that's
have.
true.
I if he doesn't panic and try to run out, if he tries to panic and run out, he doesn't. I don't think
Yeah.
has athletic ability that Talon has to be able to make something happen out of nothing. But
Yeah.
if he stays in the pocket, gets a guy or the second guy or the third guy open, then
Yeah.
yes, I think he could be just as good
If he
as
can
Talon
get
Green.
that first read, then he
Right.
can get it out on time,
But I
possibly.
think he has time for the second read. If if I mean, I think Talon
Man, I
had
don't know
time
if
as
he
well.
would.
I think Talon had on some plays, Talon had time as well, except he
There were a
just
couple
it
times,
was
yeah.
whether it was just him thinking about running and kind of missing a snap, or
Yeah.
that one play where he just started to run before even like
Yeah.
and then miss snap the ball. There's a few times where he's thinking that the offensive line isn't going to block me and I need to
Yeah.
get out and run. And if he's able to just stay for a split second more, not be again, he's afraid to get rocked every time, which this time
Yeah.
he did.
Well, it's
Um,
kind of understandable after seeing him running for his life every play. And then
right.
whenever you
But this
don't,
was out
you're
of the
surprised.
pocket.
You're waiting for it. You're like, "No, this can't be happening. I have 5 seconds to throw. Okay, where's the guy?" It just I don't know how you can do anything fluid with that situation, but I think we've hammered enough on this. I do want to ask you, next game, would if you were in charge here, would you put in Singleton? Or would you reduce the throws? Or what would you do differently with Green? Or do you
Yeah.
put in Singleton? What do you do against Tennessee?
I would against Tennessee, exactly. You
Do you
just said it.
start him or do you
Um,
just put him in the second half
You
if it
just
gets
said it
ugly?
again against Tennessee, you cannot start him. You just like you can't throw this kid in against a Tennessee ranked 6 team like that has an
4.
amazing for now. Um has had an amazing defense. Like you just can't like and expect him to be better. Like you
Right.
can't throw him in a fire and expect him not to like burn out. We need him. I do agree that he at some point in the season he does come in.
So do you think he should come in if Tennessee goes up like 28-0, 30 to, 21-0 even, and we're 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out? Do we just throw him in just to see what happens and keep him in the rest
Sure,
of the game?
yeah. I mean, yeah, I would throw him in just to see. It'd have to be up very big
Hmm.
and at an embarrassment just to see. I mean, I guess if he can do anything different, but like I said,
Yeah.
it would be just as mediocre because our offensive line. I mean, if he's able to read a progression a little bit better and stay in the
Yeah.
pocket without getting hit, just a little bit like more and get the ball out,
Yeah.
um, then yes, he can be. and I want to see that. And if we are down big, then that's why I want him to be
Right.
uh
Let's just see
want
what
him to be put
happens.
in exactly.
Yeah.
And if it's a close game though, I just no keep Taylor Green in, of course.
Okay. Um. Okay. So Talon is still your QB1 for now, unless that there's a blowout coming next game.
Yeah, you just can't throw him against Tennessee. Um,
Yeah.
I
So
I yeah.
let's not get too much into the Tennessee game. We'll do that next. Is there anything else that you want to talk about this game that you saw? Any bright spots?
I mean,
Obviously,
Landon
there
had
was
a
some negative.
few sacks.
There we go.
There he is.
Our buddy.
Hey, but not our buddy Broden though.
He had one or two good ones, I think. I think
Bro,
he had some grabs.
Broden, let's see. He had one reception for 15 yards.
Yeah, I saw that one. Does it
Yeah, you
show
saw.
his does it show attempts to him at all?
No, this doesn't show attempts, but
Okay.
one
Yeah,
reception
I
for
don't know how
15
many attempts he
yards.
got to him. Oh,
I
by the
I
way,
don't
real
know.
quick, time of possession, Arkansas
Yep,
30
30.
minutes, 39 seconds, A&M 29 minutes, 21 seconds, about even.
Yeah.
But Arkansas did lead that just a little bit. So,
I got 27 minutes. It's about 3 more minutes for than our A&M, but it's still just by a little bit.
oh, yours says 20.
Hmm.
Um, okay, I'm looking at ESPN.
Yeah, then it's possible ESPN is correct, but I see a slight lead for Arkansas over A&M.
Yeah, it is. Arkansas 30, 39,
Okay,
like 30 minutes, 39 seconds, A&M 29 minutes, 21 seconds. Or that's what
gotcha.
ESPN says that I'm
Right.
looking at right now, but they're known to sometimes get some of this
Yeah.
incorrect. But
Yeah.
I think regardless, Arkansas did have more minutes.
I mean, for sure. And
Hmm.
like I said, props to Landon for getting the
Yeah.
most tackles and assists and actually showing up in this game.
Yep. We'll give him his flowers
For sure.
when he deserves it. We're not here to, try to root
We've been
against him or
talking
anything. We
about you
want him
week
to
after
we
week to
want
show
to
up.
we want to be giving him some flowers, going like, that was one hell of a tackle, Landon. Nice sack.
Exactly. Exactly. And yeah, same thing with Broden. But
Yeah. Hey, he got a catch. He got one catch. Now
he got one catch.
I did say that he was going to catch fire whenever he finally caught one. That didn't happen, unfortunately. I think it is time to try somebody new like Dozier. Um,
I
you
also
know,
think it might be again, this is a later conversation to see if it
yeah.
happens, but if Singleton is able to trust him
Mm,
more, and we'll find out if it's just the QB or if it's actually
right.
the receiver. And we won't know that, but we'll see if Singleton does get put in. We'll see if who it actually is, and um, but our other receivers are still showing up. Tesla, Armstrong,
Yeah,
these guys are
Tesla had a
still
great game,
yeah, these guys are
and
still
Armstrong did too.
showing up exactly.
Yeah,
So I think he just trusts them more, and I think um, it might be different with Singleton, but we shall see. Future
we'll
will tell.
see. Well, let's close this one out. And if you guys want to check out our predictions for the Tennessee game, that will be in another video. Until then, if you liked this video, liked our conversation, found any of our points interesting or on point, um, make sure to throw a like on the video, subscribe to our content, join the community here. We'd love to hear from you, hear your thoughts down below. If we have a bad take, let us know why. If there's something that you think we got right, we'd love to hear why you think we got it right. And if you've been seeing the same thing, we love our hogs. We want them to do well. We're not here to, attack anybody. We're just here to give honest feedback as fans, and we want them to improve and we want them to win. So with that being said, you have anything else you wanted to say, Sid?
No, we'll
Before
see
I
you on the next video about
uh,
about Pittman.
all right. With that being said, Heartbreak Hogs out.
See ya.